Hey everybody, hope you're doing great today. This is Paul from This Way to the Aquarium. In today's video I want to talk about acclimating fish prior to putting them in their new tank. So I recently just got a new Pleco that I'm going to be putting in a tank over here just to help take care of the algae. So prior to putting that Pleco in this tank over here, I'm going to put him in a quarantine tank. But even prior to putting him in the quarantine tank, I'm going to acclimate that fish to my aquarium. So that way when I put the fish in the tank, it's not going to face any shock, it's not going to face any health issues where all of a sudden the water parameters are different, the water temperature is different, it just causes shock, it ends up killing the fish, which we don't want. So depending on where you get the fish from, the process for acclimation is going to be a little bit different. Now when I purchased my Pseudotropheus saulosi fish, I purchased that online. It was shipped to me via air cargo, and so I got it late at night. I had to come back home and basically use the method called the pop and drop. And in that method, this method was specifically recommended by the fish seller that I purchased from online. They basically state, take a look at the bags, pull the bags out of the box, take a look at them, make sure everything's intact, there's no breakage in the bags, and then for each of the bags, however many you have, put them in the tank and let them acclimate temperature-wise. So I left them in the aquarium where they're going into for about 30 minutes. Once they were acclimated, according to the fish seller's instructions, all you need to do is open up the bags, pour them out, net them, and put them directly in the tank. That fish seller had included medicated water because when shipping via air cargo, it can be a little bit stressful, it's a little bit bumpy. That medication was preventative to help prevent any stress-related injuries or sicknesses. As well, once those fish were taken out, you don't want to put that water in the tank because it's medicated. You don't really need to treat the tank. Fish should be fine. And sure enough, once I put the fish in the tank, they adjusted overnight. They've been thriving fine, had no losses, fortunately, and that process worked great. Now, when purchasing fish from a local fish shop, which I did with this Pleco, it was about 15 minutes away from my house. I'm still going to want to acclimate them to my water because I don't know how they're treating their water in that fish store. Sometimes these aquarium shops will medicate their own water. They have different treatment methods for their water, the way they filter it, what they add to it, how their tanks are handled. So even though it might be a local fish shop, you're assuming that they have similar water as you hear, but the way they treat their water is different, so you don't want to risk shocking your fish by just dropping it in the tank without it so much as an acclimation process. So in my case, the way I'm acclimating this Pleco out here, I'm going to show in a few minutes. So basically what I'm going to do is take that bag, put it in the tank, let the water in the bag adjust to the same temperature as the tank is, and then after that I'm going to open up the bag and slowly pour water into the bag and let the Pleco get acclimated to the water quality as well too. In my case it's a Pleco, but with other types of fish the same rules apply. And the reason why you don't need to do a pop and drop process when buying fish from your local fish store is because it's only been in the bag a short amount of time. Now if the fish have been in the bag for quite a long time, overnight, more than a day, then you run the risk of ammonia buildup in that water, and usually they put it in there with enough oxygen. The instant you open that up, you expose it to different air, and that causes chemical reaction in the bags, which can harm and kill the fish. But with a local fish shop over here and me purchasing it from them, it's just a matter of me acclimating the bag, adding water to the bag as well, and then once everything is said and done, once everything's been acclimated, taking the fish out and disposing of that water as well too, because we don't know what's in that water. Again, if they got medicated water, we don't want to treat the rest of the tank. So here's the little guy right here. He's going to be quarantined about 4 weeks. Ultimately we go in this tank over here, hoping to have him munch on some algae there, keep it a little cleaner. So this is the quarantine tank I use. A little messy right now. I need to organize some of the stuff around here. I just shifted some things. So basically he's going to be popped in here and allowed to acclimate temperature wise for about 15-20 minutes. And after that I'm going to do some water acclimation where I'll pour water from this aquarium into the bag just to get them used to the aquarium water in my tank. All in all, about a 30 to 45 minute process. After the temperature has been acclimated, I'll be doing the water addition to that, and then directly from there I'll be putting him into the tank. I will not use any of the waters from this aquarium bag because, again, I don't know if there are any pathogens or anything bad coming from the fish store. They know their water, they treat their water however, and we don't need to introduce any of their stuff into my tank. And I just did click off the lights on here Typically what I like to do, especially on the first day when I'm acclimating fish, is just turn off the lights. That's less stress for them. They don't have that bright light glaring on them. Little Pleco looks like he's doing fine in there. He's been in there for about 30 minutes, so the water should be well acclimated temperature-wise. Now let's start the water pouring process. So when it comes time to transfer him to the other tank, his main tank, I don't need to do this entire process. Since the water I have here in this tank, it's pretty similar to the other water. It's the same tap water, treated the same. The only difference is that this one doesn't have any substrate, no sand here. That one does have sand. That has a cichlid sand. So that might make the water a little bit harder, but overall our water is pretty hard over here. So all I'm gonna do is just take some water here, just pour it directly into the bag. And wait about 10 minutes here, come back and do it again. Just poured the last bag of water. So let's move the Pleco into the bucket. Doing fine in the bucket over there. Let's move him to the tank. The Pleco settled in well into the quarantine tank. Keep him here for 4 weeks. Add some zucchini there for him to munch on, and I do add some algae wafers every now and then as well too. So that's all I have for this video. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please hit that like button. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.